Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to discuss the Renaissance age. In first my lecture we discussed Renaissance age introduction, and today we are going to discuss the Renaissance age and the poets of Renaissance age and the sonneteers who were present in this age. First, we discuss the Renaissance age. Actually, the meaning of Renaissance age is revival, rebirth, regeneration, rejuvenation, and revival and rebirth of Greek and Romans, rebirth of Orthodox Christianity, rebirth of literature, and you can see there rebirth of culture, rebirth of knowledge. Renaissance. In the medieval ages, we know that in the medieval ages we know that the literature was stuck. Literature has stopped, and in this age literature comes in front, and we have some revolutionary poets and writers in this age, especially if we discuss, we have Petrarch, we have Dante, we have some female poets. In first my lecture I told that there were some lot of writers in this age. For example, some female poets, Julian of Norwich, Marjorie Kemp, and Thomas More, and some science, we have some scientists in this age. But today we discuss the revolutionary poets and the writer and the philosophers who were in this age, and especially if I discuss the name Chaucer. Actually, Chaucer was in the age of 1342. He was the poet of 14th century, but he was the bridge between the medieval ages and the modern. And Chaucer wrote first. He was the first poet who wrote in the language of English, and he was the example for the writers, the poets and dramatists, for the novelists, that he gave the medium of English, and they wrote in the language of English. But after the Chaucer, no one came in front, and no one we have in our literature that who wrote very brilliant and outstanding in English, and who is the very revolutionary poet after the Chaucer. But between the Elizabethan age and the Chaucer, no one came in front who wrote for the growth of literature. But after Chaucer, a person who is very remarkable, we discuss is Petrarch. Petrarch is a Italian philosopher. His full name is Francisco Petrarch. He wrote about the humanity, and we can see that he is a hero. He is a hero. And what is the concept of hero? For example, we watch some evil in our society, and if we go for this evil, we destroy this evil, and we are going for destroying this evil, then we are hero. And Petrarch is the great example, and that he is a hero, because everything was stuck. No, we did not have any writing, but the Petrarch came and he wrote against the medieval ages. He wrote against the supremacy of the church. He wrote against the supremacy of the culture. He wrote against the supremacy of king, princess, and prince. Actually, Petrarch was the first person who breaks the medieval age culture, medieval ages, and we can see that this is the person who breaks the medieval ages, and this is why we can say that he is a hero, and he gave the idea of Renaissance, because he was the founder of Renaissance. He wants change. He wants get rid from the medieval ages custom and traditions, because in the medieval ages we can say that these ages are dark ages, because there was no literature, there was no very moderate religion. Supremacy of church was in this age. During these ages, during the medieval ages, during these ages, the church was dominant, and church was corrupt. But it was very difficult for anyone that he came and wrote against the church, and he gave the new idea. But this person, credit goes that he comes in front and he gave the idea of Renaissance, and also Dante was the hero. He also gave the idea of Renaissance. And we discussed in our very first lecture that the people who followed Petrarch, they were the Petrarchians. And how we can say that the Petrarch was the hero? Petrarch was the person who gave the idea of Renaissance, because in the medieval ages, man was not dominant, church was dominant. There was no respect of a common man, but Petrarch gave this respect. He wrote about the humanism. He wrote about the rationalism, and he gave the idea that human is important, and human is important than all the universe. Because in our Holy Quran, we read that man is the crown of creation. Everything is revolving around the man. Man is everything, and man is important than the church, than the religion, because man is the central theme of the God creation. And now we are going to discuss the sonneteers of this age. Now we discuss the sonneteers of this age. The first person, again, I am mentioning that Petrarch. Petrarch also wrote sonnet, and he gave the idea of sonnet. Sonnet is the poem who consists of 14 lines. And this person first gave the idea of sonnet. And we can say that Petrarch is the father of sonnet. Petrarch is the father of sonnet. And Petrarch wrote a sequence of sonnets, and Petrarch sequence of sonnets was very popular. In his sonnets, he addressed to Laura. Laura was his beloved. She was lady, and in his sonnets he addressed to this lady, this woman. And when he was addressing to this lady, he was praising, he was persuading, he was gleaning. And when you are praising, you are persuading, then it is the example of rhetoric. It is the example of rhetorical writing, because when you have to pursue, when you have to persuasively, it is the example of rhetoric. When you have to say things persuasively, it is the example of rhetoric. And during the praising, during the persuading, you have to say things persuasively, because according to the dictionary, the rhetoric is the art of persuasion. Many years ago, the Aristotle wrote a book, The Art of Rhetoric, and we can say that Aristotle knows things, knows about the rhetoric more than us, and he is the father of rhetoric. And we have some examples of great writing. White and Surrey. White and Surrey, they were friends, and they were the followers of Petrarch. They translated and they copied. They translated Petrarch work into English, and even they also they wrote under the influence of Petrarch, because these peoples were under the influence of Greek and Romans. They wrote under the influence of Petrarch, and they definitely they translated the Petrarch work, but they also wrote their own work. there are something there are some other aspects we have in their writing. They wrote about the virtues. They wrote about the style. There are some other aspects. Style with ease, no oddity, no rough surfaces, no rough edges, like the walk. Walk is with walk is with no trouble. Walk which is smooth. Walk which has no impediments. And it is a virtue. And we have some other virtues, and these virtues are, for example, the grace, certain justification. Because when we say thing, we have we style, but in some cases we have no style. We can be rough, we can be uncouth, we can be uncultured, but the Petrarchan style was based upon the grace. They have the style of they have the style of grace. They say things with style and grace. And we have some virtues, suppleness and finish. And if we discuss, we discussed about the white, and now we are going to discuss the another poet, Surrey. And Surrey also wrote about the rhetoric, and we discussed what is rhetoric and what is rhetorical. And it credit goes to the Surrey that he wrote about the rhetoric. After these poets, we discuss about the Elizabethan sonneteers. We have in the age of Queen Elizabeth, Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe, and Johnson, Ben Jonson, and Spenser. But first, we discuss Thomas Watson and Thomas Lodge. They were great sonneteers, Thomas Watson and Thomas Lodge. And the Thomas Watson sequence was very famous, and his sequence was Phillis. His sequence of sonnets was Phillis. And after Watson, we have Philip Sidney. We know that Philip Sidney was a critic. He was also critic and sonnetiers. He was also critic, and he was also a poet. Philip Sidney, and we read in the syllabus of criticism, apology for poetry, and he is the father of criticism. Criticism actually begins with this person, and he also wrote sonnets, and he was a sonneteer, and his sequence was, in my opinion, was Astrophel and Stella. Stella is the girl, and Astrophel is the man, is a man, and he also dressed to his beloved, to Astrophel during his sonnets, like the Petrarch. And after Philip Sidney, no, I would like to discuss about the great Daniel. Daniel sequence was very famous, and he was a great sonneteer and poet. His sequence was Delia, and it was also a lady, and he also addressed to his beloved in his sonnets. And after the Daniel, we have Henry Constable. Henry Constable wrote about the sonnets, and he is also a sonneteer, and his sequence was Diana. His sequence was Diana. And after Henry Constable, we have William Percy. William Percy William Percy was also wrote sonnets, and his sequence was Celia. His sequence was Celia. And after William Percy, we have Fulke Greville. Fulke Greville sequence was also Celia, but the spellings were different. And after these, we have a great name, Spenser. Spenser was a great writer, and he wrote also the Fairy Queen and Knights at his arm. Fairy Queen, it was the epic, and it's is about the Queen Elizabeth. Fairy Queen means Queen Elizabeth, and Knight at Arms are her court knights, her warriors who fought for the sake of her majesty. They fought for her. And Spenser sequence was Amorite. Spenser sequence was Amorite. And at the end, we discuss William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare wrote 120 sequences. He was also a sonneteer. He was also sonneteer. Yes, he wrote sonnets, but we know that he wrote he is known for his dramas, but he wrote also sonnets. Inshallah, soon we will meet another lecture. Okay, Allah Hafiz.